Good morning. It's Thursday, September 18th, and it's the next day after I put this yellow birch on a adjustable fire hardening recurve jig that I had. And remember I showed you there was a little space in between? I put some shims in there just to fill it and snug it up with a little clamp. Did the same thing on the other side. Okay, and then I'm going to show you that I recycle these trays. I have two tinfoil trays that are kind of shaped, and the idea is that I can stack coals high and taper them down so that I can cook that curve. And when I'm done with these, I empty them out and save them, and I recycle these tins, these aluminum pans that I have bent. Let me show you the inside of the tray, the foil, before I light it on fire. So basically I'm going to build up coals and taper it down, then it'll be pretty level. By the riser it's pushed down because we don't want to burn the riser, but there'll be a couple of coals there. And it's the same on this side. This side is going to be built up flat, tapered down with coals, okay? Once again, here's the spaces, the wedges, and we're going to fill it up with coals and get cooking. I keep the coals in the back. Got the coals stacked up, so basically they're higher on the end here. Once they get going, you always have a stick and you can knock the coals down so they're nice and level. And over on the other end where the curve is, we have it stacked up too, so there'll be a little more heat going with the curve of the recurve. Okay, we're going to light it up. The coals have been going for 15 minutes. They're still going. And what you have to watch is the smoke. You got to make sure that the smoke is coming from the coals and not the limbs. I keep a spray bottle nearby and a stick too. And I'm going to show you how you judge the correct distance between the coals and the bow. So Keith Shannon from Shannon Outdoors came up with this. Him and Dad Becca made a really nice fire hardening DVD that I suggest you go to Shannon Outdoors and purchase. It opens up a new world of wood for you to make bows out of. So take your palm, go underneath the limb, and you go 1, 2, 3. Let me see, I held it under a little long. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So this is the right height. I checked it. But if you were to put your hand underneath there and you went 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5, and before you had to pull your hand out. So the idea is you go right underneath and you want to keep your hand there until you really can't hold it anymore there. It's a little too hot. And it's common sense. Common sense is you don't want to burn your hand. If you went like this and it was 1, 2, it's too hot. You have to raise it up, or you have to knock down some coals, depending where it is, okay? So it's common sense. You don't want to burn your hand. If you don't have common sense, don't do this, okay? But here we go. So 1, 2, 3, and these coals are catching. So I have to check it. Once these coals finish catching, I may have to raise it up a notch, okay? And these recurves where I built up the coals, 1, 2, 3, it's working. The heat is radiating around the curve because I built it up and cooking the recurves. Okay, so I'm going to check this often. All right, and you have a stick. Always have a stick. It's an important part of this here. I keep a stick and a spray bottle, and every so often you'll have to knock off ash. And the other thing you have to do is I have fireplace gloves. Make sure the clamps are snug. You don't want them falling off. And you just turn it. If it don't turn, you leave it alone. If it turns with the slightest bit of pressure, like this, look, do it. It turned like a 1/16 of a turn, but that's okay. It's turning. It's turning without me stressing any limbs or anything. Okay. So we're good. I will show you. Time isn't important. It's the color. And I made this obviously thicker because it was so twisted. It has to be reshaped. It has to be tilled. The limbs have to be narrowed and all. But I left it thick. Whenever you got such a bad twist, you leave it a little thicker, because as you're looking down, after you straighten it, there may be more material on this side and you're able to sand it in and align it a little better, right? Or this side, sand it in. You're able to adjust it. You have room to play to adjust the sanding to get the limb a little straighter even, okay? So because it's a little thicker, once we get that color on this wood, this yellow birch, and we tiller it, and when we tiller it, we were going to remove probably a lot of material to get it to bend. And then we'll have to maybe fire harden it again, but that's okay. Right? The main reason for this now is it's making the wood a little more hydrophobic. It's making it a little waterproof. Without getting too technical, it changes the cell structure, stronger and waterproof. And when you have this on a jig like this, the hot heat from the coals will make a permanent set, hopefully. Permanent set in the shape you want it. So when you have it on your jig, you align it to where you want it, and the cooking process will make it permanent, okay? So I'll show you what it looks like in another half hour. It's been going for approximately a half hour, and once again, the time isn't that important. But in that time, I have snugged up the clamps a few times, just a little at a time. So it's conforming to the jig a little better, which is straightening out any little twist. And I also knocked off some ash, and I actually added a couple of coals here and there in some low spots. So what I'm going to do at this point in time is pick it up and show you what it looks like. And the riser, on the right side of the riser, was smoking a little bit. I sprayed it with some water, knocked around with the stick some coals that were underneath the riser, and it's all good. So it's early, don't expect much color, but we're going to show you what it looks like at that half hour mark. Starting at the riser, going to the right, we have a very little bit of color, but we're starting to get color. Going down to the recurve, all right, slight bit of color. And like I said, it usually takes a couple hours, but the color is important. And we got the same thing on the left side here. Okay, we'll show you in another half hour. Once again, while it's up, just knocking around the coals, and we're getting the ash off the coals because we don't want the coals to suffocate. We want them to keep burning, and we want them to keep producing nice heat. And as you knock off the ash and they look a little smaller, okay, you can add a little more coals. And the only thing that you have to be careful of, once again, is that the smoke coming off the new coals igniting is from the coals and not the actual wood smoking, okay? So here we go, we're knocking it around a little bit. I'm going to add some more coals where it needs to be, and then I'm going to drop it down, and I'll show you in another half hour or so. Just keep snugging up the clamps and checking it. And once again, like I have coals going, you see the smoke, make sure it's not smoking from the limbs or the riser. Then you'll have to spray it a little bit. Just want to show you that little bit of smoke coming off of the riser. That's what it looks like. Okay. Get a spray bottle. And then I'm going to knock some coals down. Knock them around so they're a little bit away from there, or a little lower. Making sure all the clamps are nice and snugged up here. Now it's been going for another half hour. I want to show you what's going on, so I'm going to lift it up. And depending on the color, I may move these clamps over like an inch so the white spots underneath will get hardened. I do believe that the fire hardening will go around the clamps. I think it's a little more for aesthetics. Now, if you look over here, we only have 2 clamps and a little 3 clamps if you count the little one on the tip. But what I'm going to do is over here we have 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to take 5 with the little one. I'm going to take one of these clamps and put it over there to secure it before I take that one off and move that one, okay? I'm going to raise it up now. I hope that was clear. I don't know. This is the 1 hour mark, starting at the riser, going to the right. You see we got nice color. And we even got some color going down to the tip. From the riser going to the left, we have color. And we even have some color going down to the tip. Show you in an hour and a half. I knocked off some ash and added some coals. And we're good for another half hour. Maybe we'll even be good for the hour. We'll see. It's been a solid hour and a half. And we're going to raise it up and see what it looks like. The hour and a half mark going to the right. We got color going down. And I'd like a little more color at the tips. From the riser going to the left, I'd like a little more color even from the fade outs on this side. A little bit more down to the tips. I knocked all the ash off and I built up some coals on the ends. I want the ends to cook for that last half hour a lot more. So we're going to wait until it catches, then I'm going to drop it down and give it a good cook for at least a half hour. I made sure the coals on the ends were caught good before I lowered it. And now we're going to let it go for at least a half hour. Try to see if we get a little more color on the left side fade outs and in the tips. It's been a good 2 hours and 20 minutes and we're going to put it on the table and show you what it looks like. We have nice color throughout the recurve, and I hope the main goal is that it took a set and it's nice and straight and there'll be only minor tweaking involved with this. And then once again, if I accomplish that, that was the goal. So if I have to remove a lot of material to pillar it, it'll be straight and I'll be able to fire harden it one more time if necessary. So we're going to let this cool and then I'm going to take it off and show you, and I'm going to hydrate it with a soaking wet rag to put moisture back in it. I was pleasantly surprised when I unclamped this and it has some more back set. It actually sprung up. And you can see how the recurves are fitting the jig pretty good. And let's look at the straightness. Yeah, this is the better limb. This limb is the straighter limb. And this limb here has a twist that goes this way. And I'll have to see if I can just make it a little narrower and taper it in a little bit to make up for that. And if that's the case and I have to thin both limbs, I'll put some rawhide in the middle to give it a little extra support. But we'll see. I'm competing today with everybody doing yard work. Hope you can hear me. This is the most important thing. This has been fire hardened. I want to show you the back and the belly. Here's the back with the curves. Looks good, right? I may put rawhide on the back. Okay, just a little section. Here's the belly. Okay, so straightening and shaping will be on another video. It'll be part of the tillering video. Hopefully tillering and shooting video, hopefully. But I want to show you the most important thing about fire hardening After you fire harden, take a dripping wet rag and hydrate it. I want you to put moisture back in the wood. Okay? Don't be afraid to take it and soak it good. And I want you to do this at least 3 times over a couple-hour period. You've got to put moisture back in. Otherwise, when you go to till this, like Keith Shannon, I like the expression he used, is like tillering a potato chip. Okay, it's so dried out, it's like tillering a potato chip. So the goal here, this is the goal, is that we fire hardened it, it straightened, it conformed to the jig. It still needs some tweaking, but all in all, it's good. We're going to hydrate it, put moisture back, and on another video, we're going to finesse it and hopefully tiller it. And I don't know, we may add rawhide or not. We'll see, okay? But that's the end of this fire hardening video with the recurves and the adjustable recurve jig. And thanks for watching. Every day you get up is a great day. Try to make the best of it. Go out, shoot, do something, anything. Thanks for watching.